All right, John Mayer's Neon. My name is Teague. Subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'm going to break this riff down into little pieces that'll be easy to digest. If you like it, share. Musiclearning.com is a site. There'll be a link in the description of the material to go with it, which is always helpful. Okay, let's jump in. First thing we need to know is this low E string is tuned to a low C. So let me bring it back up to E really quick. So now when it's E, I also have an E on the 7th fret of my 5th string, my A string. Notice I do not have a 3rd fret dot, so don't let that throw you off. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. That's an E, 1 octave higher than my low E. If I back that up a whole step, I have a D. So that's the same as tuning to your open D, for anybody that does open D tuning. Now if I move that D back another whole step, I have a C. Make sense? So a couple things to note about tuning. Always come below the note and back up. So the last thing you do when you take your hand off the tuning peg is you've increased the tension. Less likely to go out of tune. You'll also notice with this low C is now the string is quite loose, so it is a bit tricky to get that in tune. So you may find your ears have a bit of, if you're not used to that, it's just practicing. Okay, next up the notes. So we have this low C, which is why we tuned it down. We have an E flat on the 3rd fret. So because we're tuned down, this is now C. My 2nd fret would be a D, and then I have an E flat on my 3rd fret. John Mayer uses his thumb. I'm, however, going to use my index. Then we're going to have an F on the 5th fret. Again, John Mayer uses his thumb. I'm using my index. We'll also have an A flat on the 8th fret and a B flat on the 10th fret. That's it for our notes in the bass. When we hit this C, these are just going to be quarter notes, so we're going to have 4 evenly spaced quarter notes in one measure. And this is a 2-measure riff, so we'll have 4 notes in one measure, and we will have 4 notes in the other measure to make it a 2-measure riff. That first C is on beat 1. He's slapping it with his thumb. When you slap a string, you're kind of using the side of your thumb here and kind of snapping it down on the string. Now there, I'm using a combination of slapping my thumb and blocking the strings with this hand. Got a little ahead of myself. So we're gonna hit this thing, that low C with this thumb, kind of slapping it. Experiment with that. I am taking my left hand here and I am blocking strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just so that when I slap the C, I'm not gonna hear any extra strings. Okay, beat 1. Beat 2 is a click, percussive click, couple ways. I can take this hand and slide it up so now it's covering all 6. When I drop my thumb, I hear this percussive sound. No sound anymore. Or I use a part of this hand, the palm or this part, to drop in right before my thumb to give me a click. It's up to you, whichever one you like better. And like I said, when I was using this one, that's how I create that. I'm slapping and then this hand is stopping the strings. We are going to not have to do anything quite like that, but something a little bit like that. Okay, so we hit the C on beat 1, click on beat 2. 1, 2. Good place to start. Let's you just try to get a solid sounding C and a solid sounding click. Beat 3 is going to be this E flat. Again, John Mayer uses his thumb, whichever one you want. I'm going to use my index. So 1, 2, 3. Beat 4 is a click. It's like a snare drum that a drummer would play. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's measure 1. You're halfway there. Measure 2 starts on this F, the 5th fret. Slap that. Beat 2 of measure 2 is a click. Again, where the snare drum would go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Last part, beat 3 and 4 of measure 2 is the A flat, quarter note, we're just going to hold it. B flat on the 10th fret, which we're just going to hold. 3, 4, but we'll slap those two. 3, 4. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And I think I said on the A flat and the B flat I'm using my first and my third finger. John Mayer uses his thumb, but I use this. We'll explain why in the videos to come, the reason for that. And then the next part, we're going to add just one more little part to this bass line, and then we'll start jumping in and adding all those other parts, all broken down. So if you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, share it, turn your notifications on so you know when the next part's coming so you can add to this. And my name's Teague, musiclearning.com is the site. The link was in the description if you missed it and want to do this video again. It is kind of easy to see the material, standard notation, but it's broken down with letter names. You'll actually be reading music before you know it. And again, thanks so much for watching. Have fun.